Hi, I'm Alicia Robinson, the Riverside reporter for the Press Enterprise and PE.com, and I have here with me Ken Gutierrez, who was just appointed to the Ward 3 seat on the Riverside City Council. Hi, Ken. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, Alicia. Good to be here.
So I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you feel like your role is as the interim council member. As people may know, you were appointed to fill a vacancy. So you will be serving until either June if someone is elected outright in that election, or in November if there's a runoff. So you're not going to be in the seat for all that long. Do you feel like you want to come in and have big ideas for a lot of changes, or are you more of just sort of a placeholder, or is it somewhere in between? What's your role?
I think it's somewhere in between. I've got lots of big ideas, but I'm not going to be around long enough to see them through, and I want to leave that for the person that's elected in June or November. But I also want to do more than just warm a seat. So I see myself somewhere in the middle. I see myself working with neighborhoods, working with local businesses, trying to help them. I'm their representative. So I want to be more than just waiting for their phone calls. I want to be a little bit proactive, but I do see myself working with them, but not trying to promote any particular agenda or platform.
Okay. And then I also wanted to ask you, I understand that your grandmother was born in Mexico, so you do have some Latino heritage. And the Latino community in Riverside it's actually almost a majority at this point. It's a very big part of the community. So how important do you feel like it is for Latinos to have a representative on the city council? I mean, there's Andy Melendrez is one, but you would be the second one on the council. How important is that representation for that community, and are you going to be kind of reaching out to them?
Yeah, I think diversity is very important, and ideally the city council, the boards and commissions would start mirroring the demographics of the city. So, the more diversity, the better. Because of my background, perhaps I can reach out and connect more with the Latinos in Ward 3. So yeah, I will. I won't make a special point of it, but I think that maybe that background will open a few doors and make a few connections. I'm hoping that will be the case.
Okay. And then as to specific issues that might affect Ward 3, let's talk about Overlook Parkway. Now, there's some discussion going around right now because of an environmental report that was just completed that has to do with whether the parkway should be completed. There are a couple of segments that were not built. I mean, Ward 3 is one of several wards that would be affected if the parkway were completed by the anticipated traffic. Right. I mean, what do you see happening in terms of whether there's the political will to either actually go ahead and complete the parkway, or to try to take finishing the parkway out of the city's general plan? Because it kind of seems like to not finish it, but then to leave it in the planning is kind of kicking the can down the road. So where do you see that going?
Yeah, this is a fascinating issue, and it's a multi-pronged monster, really. And I'm intimately familiar with the issues because we started the EIR when I was planning director, for the city. I have not seen it or worked with consultants in well over a year, so I don't know what that EIR says. I have not had a chance to review it. But it's huge issues, not only with regard to distributing traffic throughout the city, but the potential impacts of cut-through traffic on citizens, residents, especially of Ward 4 and Ward 3. So there's a lot of huge issues that have to be looked at. I'm not prepared to offer any opinion at this point until I read the EIR, hear some public testimony. But I'm really concerned about avoiding cut-through traffic and affecting neighborhoods. I'm concerned about the impacts on the arroyo, if there was to be a bridge across the arroyo. Equally, I'm concerned about what overall city impacts there would be with or without the parkway being completed. For instance, if Overlook Parkway goes through, would it relieve traffic elsewhere, and would it be good for the city as a whole? So a lot of issues to be addressed. Another one is, what are the impacts on Victoria Avenue? What are the impacts on the Greenbelt? Are we going to solve problems with cut-through traffic through the Greenbelt? And there's Prop R Measure C issues. I have lots of questions. I have need for information. At this point, all I have is questions and not many answers.
Okay. And then finally, I wanted to ask you, while you are holding the Ward 3 council position, is there anything specific that you'd like to accomplish? Any particular things that citizens have started bringing to your attention that you think need to be addressed, or anything concrete that you're really hoping that you can try to get done?
Yeah, I'd love to work with business. I'd love to work with Riverside Plaza. I'd love to work on the Marcy Branch Library. Lots of things like that. But I'm very mindful to not write checks I can't cash. I have to be careful. I'm going to be in office for 5 or 6 to 11 months. So I certainly don't want to start heading down a road and having the elected council person have to retract from that. So I think my biggest issue I want to work with is working with neighborhoods, working with local businesses to make sure that they are being served, to make sure that they have a voice that's being heard, that I can be an advocate to them, that we don't do things that we're going to regret later or that we can't undo later. Maybe the best thing to do is pave the way so that as time goes on and as the new council person comes in, his or her job will be easier. So that's how what I see my role. I have no personal or professional agenda in this other than to serve the city of Riverside.
Okay. All right. Well, congratulations on your new position, and thanks for coming by.
Thanks. I look forward to it.